Many women are out here talking about, I'm not having kids, I'm not having kids. I think it should be, I'm not having kids unless I'm rich. If you want to have kids, put that at the end of the sentence. I'm not having kids unless I'm rich, unless my man is rich. I'm not having kids unless I'm bringing it into wealth. Not having poverty kids. So I think that should be the mindset of women these days. Okay, so they say that children are a gift to the world. Well, the world should be a gift to a child as well, I believe. So don't bring it up in something that it got to struggle in. You know what I'm saying? That child should be happy to be alive when it gets here. They shouldn't be mad and punch in the air when they find out they broke. All right. Okay. Bring a child into something that's worthy. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said it's selfish to have kids, and you have no. It is. Now, we have all this technology, all this medical advance, and you can consciously make decisions to have children or not. Don't bring them into poverty just because you think, you know, this, and that. The child is going to be mad at you later. Like, why you bring me into brokenness? Okay? Ask any kid that grew up in poverty. They'd be like, why you keep having kids? Because once you have one, the other ones start rolling out. You know? So.
Well, this might be the end of Shira. She said she wants kids in some form or fashion. Regardless of if she said, I want them to be bought up in wealth, you still said you wanted kids. As a feminist, you're not supposed to say that at all.
Okay, folks, the gender wage gap. Statistically, men do make more money than women, but there are a few reasons why. First off, men are naturally more competitive. We always like to one-up each other. So when it comes to the workplace, men are more likely to ask for a raise, for promotions, to really try and climb the corporate ladder. Women, on the other hand, are naturally more agreeable. They like keeping the peace. They don't like discourse. So even if they want a raise, they will often not vocalize it. My mother was like this. She is extremely smart, but would usually not voice her opinions, which caused her not to climb as much as she should have. There are business owners who take advantage of this. They know women are much more agreeable, that they are less likely to cause conflict, so they hire more of them. They know there will be less friction. Another big reason why men's wages are higher is because they do dangerous jobs. Many blue-collar jobs pay a lot, but are extremely risky. The high pay is the exchange for potentially dying. Women don't like competing, they like to cooperate. That is where they feel naturally feminine. Men feel masculine when they're competing. That's why a lot of women who work seem to end up in their masculine energy, because they are in an environment that they do not naturally want to be in. So for women to get paid more, they have to be willing to demand more, or find workplaces that favor cooperation over competition. The wage gap doesn't really matter, to be honest. In 5 to 10 years, AI and robots will take most of the jobs anyways. The real danger is not being able to survive without a job. Watch my YouTube for more one-on-one calls in the bio, drizzle.
Hi, what can I get started for you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm picking up a mobile order for Tina.
You speak about Southern accent. You speak my language.
Yes, ma'am.
So you for Miss Tina?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I didn't see you at the window.
Thank you very much.
Damn, that's some messed up. But the question is, has there ever been a conversation about marriage? Or are you just out here doing some? Because it didn't look like she was on the shit that you on. Now that's some embarrassing now. But I don't think I could do that to somebody. I think I'll just be like, yeah, get your ass up here. And then we will go talk in private about how we about to break the news to everybody that this shit didn't work out. This is exactly why I say them hard questions need to be asked up front. Y'all need to be asking people, do they see marriage in their future? So you don't embarrass yourself like he did, boo. Y'all got to be honest and communicate shit. Cause baby, whoo, that people had their phones out too, y'all. Oh my God. Social media embarrassment. That's even worse.
So, statistically speaking, the average man proposes after about 3 years of being in a relationship, usually in his late 20s, with wide variation based on life stage, finances, values, and whether the couple is already cohabitating, right? So, the time dating before engagement is about 2.5 to 3 years, according to most large surveys like Pew, Wedding Wire, okay? And the age at proposal, men usually get married around 30, all right? So they're proposing on average about 1 to 2 years before that. For couples who are cohabitating, typically 12 to 18 months, they'll propose somewhere around that time or a little bit later, right? For college educated couples, they have a longer courtship, so 3 to 5 years. They've been dating before cohabitation. For religious couples, they've been dating for 1 to 2 years before they propose. For second marriages, once again, often 1 to 2 years, or maybe even less before they propose. They've been dating that long, okay? So you've been in a relationship for a while. You supposedly know somebody, statistically speaking. So I guess it's possible that you haven't had the conversation or nobody has hinted at it, right? I guess that's always a possibility. But, you know, the question is, well, where do we go from here? Do we continue to date? I think after 2.5 to 3 years, why would you want to continue dating? If the man is saying after 2.5, 3 years, I want to be married, and you're saying, no, I'm good. Why would he need to stay around any longer? You know what I mean?
Why do women think that chivalry is just about basic mutual respect as opposed to a one-way servitude towards women?
I think it's because it's how women are brought up and what they're taught, how to be treated by a man, not how to treat a man.
I don't know. I think women confuse respect, just like basic respect, with not being chivalrous. But I don't know. It's just something that's not really required anymore.
Chivalry is just a term we use when we're talking about men doing the gentleman thing for a woman, opening the door, you know, pulling out their chair when they sit down, you know, paying for dinner, you know, all that type of things. Like basically proving that you're a provider and you're, you know, you can take care of her. Like that's kind of like a natural essence of a gentleman, and that's why it's people like when they say chivalry, they think of a gentleman doing that for a woman. But I feel like it could be done both ways. It's just, you know, if the woman is willing to do that, you know, on her own, like just say, hey, let me get that for you or whatever.
I'm not a good woman, okay? I promise you don't want me. I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do 50-50. I'm smarter than you. I won't listen to you. I will stress you out. And I like to spend a lot of money, okay? We ain't compatible. Leave me alone.
It really seems like we have normalized women disrespecting their husbands on this app in like so many ways. But the most recent trend is where the women are going to some music concert and they're dressing up and preparing themselves and their body just in case they're going to hook up with the people on stage. You know, they're playing it off like, oh, it's a joke and it's funny, but it's actually disrespectful.
You know what's crazy about fathers' rights issues is they're actually all still women's issues. Every single fathers' rights issue that negatively affects men also negatively affects women in the exact same way. It just disproportionately affects men more, so we ignore it. But sooner rather than later, we are not going to be able to ignore it, and fathers' rights issues are going to destroy women in a really big, I didn't think the leopards would eat my face way. First of all, the Title 40 provision of the Social Security Act that pretty much forces child support orders, even in cases where neither parent wants it, is genderless. The only reason you used to only hear about men being completely eviscerated by child support short is because they used to be the ones who earned more, but nowadays about half of us are earning as much or more than our male counterparts. So now as more and more women are being ordered to pay their exes, they're starting to wake up to how broken these CS formulas are state to state. Custodial interference laws that punish the parent that keeps the child from the other parent also protects women, because men are just as capable of taking your kid and refusing to return them for weeks on end. No matter if you're a mom or a dad, parental kidnapping is still considered a civil matter and is rarely prosecuted. False accusations affect mothers too, and when false accusers aren't punished, they keep making false allegations. Even paternity fraud affects women, because when a woman lies about who the father is, that affects grandmothers, sisters, and stepmothers too. People love saying that certain states are mom states, but the truth of the matter is that no state cares about moms or dads. The state itself cares about federal reimbursement and nothing else. So you can keep ignoring all of these issues with family court that men have been screaming about for the past couple of decades just because you think it's just a father's issue or just a men's issue, and like all men's issues, it's their fault and their job to clean it up. But I'm warning you right now, when the leopards are done eating their faces, they're coming for ours.
If you want to know how to tell the bad men, ask the men who are protecting you to tell you. The way one man put it was, you can't tell the difference between wolves and sheepdogs if all you're looking for is teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sheepdogs have teeth, and they're the best to tell who's a wolf. They can smell them.
Yes.
And so, but we usually try to, when they say that's a bad man, oh no, give him a chance. No, that's a bad man. He's up to no good with you. Oh, come on. But no, he's really this and this is, no, that's a bad man. And so they stop telling us who the bad men are because we just argue with them, just like they stop telling us we're beautiful because we just argue with them.
Somebody started messaging me today and asking me a bunch of questions, which I'm not used to. And they said, sorry for all the questions. I'm just trying to show effort, which I'm also not. I'm not used to that. I'm not used to having like a real conversation of get to know someone and how they got to be who they are. Nobody does that anymore. Everybody wants to pick up from today and move forward. And I get that to a point, but that causes detachment in me. If somebody's picking up from today and just moving forward, I find a sense of detachment. I find a lot of value in knowing how a person became who they are. I think it's special. So anyways, somebody asking me about so many different things, so many questions. It's so neat. And then you get to engage in conversation, real, actual conversation, not what you did today, yesterday, tomorrow, what you did when you were a kid, what you did with your family, what you did when you were right out of high school, like a timeline. You start to picture this person's life, and then you picture, like, it's just connecting dots in my head that everybody else leaves floating. I can hang out with someone for hours and get home. I don't remember what they look like. I don't remember what we talked about. I fully disassociate. That's been a problem of mine. But having someone come in and make conversation that includes their history and my history, it's creating something that's connecting dots. And I see this as a conversation I will remember. This is actually going in my brain and I'm going to remember it. We're talking about our lives, you know? Not just like what I had for dinner last night, because I don't remember what I had for dinner last night. I'm going to remember what someone else had for dinner last night. Like, it's neat hearing about someone's life and having them ask about mine. And then mentioning they're trying to show effort. Like, how nice. How nice. So I'm having a much needed conversation. It's very real and humane, and it's just soothing for the soul. I like it a lot. So going to the mall, get a $25 gift for tomorrow. And I'm enjoying not staying home and crying today. This is nice. I am trying to make an effort to not isolate, and this is nice.
She's right. There's a lot of people that want to pick up right from the start. Hey, what are you doing today? Where are you trying to go? sounds good. They don't want to get to know the history of a person. They don't want to understand how a person thinks, how a person behaves, their personality. And I'm not saying there's a timeline on that. I'm saying they're not even asking those questions. They're not even asking the basic critical thinking, the logical questions that you need to know before getting in a relationship with somebody. They're not even asking that because they don't care. I just want to know, does it sound good? If it sounds good, I'm going to roll with it. Versus seeing, okay, it sounds good. Now I want to see if it's actually something worth pursuing, something or somebody worth dating.
This is quite frankly the worst way you could ever start your morning. Why are we pretending that this is normal and cute and aesthetic? This is not. This person is sick and unhealthy. They are 600 plus pounds starting their morning with coffee and high fructose corn syrup sugar. Just because she has some music behind it does not mean you should be following it. In fact, you should be following the exact opposite.
Well, not every woman is a Christian. That's why they don't believe in submission. Actually, no, they just continue to buy into this independent woman mindset and continuously deny their biology. Because biologically, a woman cannot be attracted to something that she has to protect. And if she is the leader of her home, she's basically the mother of her husband. She's not going to be attracted to him. Historically, male leadership meant protection, resources, stability. So women are naturally attracted to men who take ownership and take that leadership role. A woman has to have respect for her man to be attracted to him. And when she becomes the leader of the home, she loses all respect for him. And that's when the intimacy dies. And also, let's just say when you first started dating your man, you were super attracted to him. He was super masculine. But you never stepped into that submissive role when you guys got married, and instead you pointed out all his flaws and you became super controlling. That man is going to naturally pull back into a lower role, and you are going to become the leader, which is going to make you way less attracted to him. So you can deny the Christianity part of submission all you want, but you cannot deny the biology.
The way they treat you is how they see you, men and women. This goes both ways. Pay attention to how they treat you. On Monday, I was very, very sick, and thankfully, my husband had a snow day, and it has been very, very cold here in Michigan. So he was at home, and I caught some kind of bug. I was violently ill. As I was crawling my way back to our bed, I had realized that my husband had gone to the kitchen and filled up 3 very large bottles. He comes back to the bed while I'm laying there, and he says, "Here's plain water, here's liquid IV, and here's emergency. Do you need anything else?" And this wave of just love rushes over me. My husband is taking care of me. He made a vow in sickness and in health, and he was taking it seriously. I said, probably a piece of toast. He brought me a cold rag, and he kept filling my water all day long. And my point is this: pay attention to how they treat you early on in the relationship. My husband's always been like this. And yes, I know people change. People change often. People change all the time. But when they care about you, they want to take care of you. My husband wanted to take care of me, and he did. I felt so much better at the end of the day. Pay attention to how they treat you. In sickness and in health, it is no joke. Thank God for my husband. And those people that are asking, well, what's your husband do for you? He takes care of me, and I take care of him.
Y'all love to say believe all women, but what y'all really mean is believe instantly and ask questions later. Believing women does not mean to turn your brain off. When you treat every accusation like it's automatically true, you create a system where lying has no consequences. This girl went on the internet and told millions of people that she was essayed. Come to find out, it wasn't even true. It was consensual. Before y'all even heard the other side, y'all was ready to cancel Talil. Y'all was ready to end his career. No questions, no proof, no waiting. Y'all was ready to destroy that man. Now the evidence has come out and she fabricated the whole story. Do y'all understand what could have happened had he not had that recording? Had he not had his evidence? Really, this could have ruined his life, his reputation, his future. And for what? Because he didn't want her? He didn't send her money? didn't give her attention. Now, please understand, I'm not saying that SA is not real. I'm not saying that all victims are liars. What I am saying is that false accusations are real and they are dangerous. Every time somebody lies about something this serious, they make it harder for the real victims to be believed. And social media is the worst judge and jury.
And the pictures circling online made it look like it was just lame as nobody was dancing. All the girls were just sitting on the side. And guess what? They just shut down after one night. And you want to know why? Because nobody purchased one bottle of alcohol.
Everything women have is because men allow it. The WNBA is a perfect example of the duality of man and the dumbassery of women, right? Because in the WNBA, they lose money every single year. The only reason the WNBA exists is because the NBA, the men, allow it and continue paying them for no reason because they're not making any money. Women are the queens of up. They go into male spaces because they feel they should have a right to be in those male spaces. And then once they get in those male spaces, they realize, oh, this means I have to work. This means I have to spend money. This means I have to lift weights. This means I have to do something I didn't want to do. So now I shouldn't have to do that because I'm a woman. No, I wanted to be in a male space. I wanted to be in the military. I wanted to be in the police force. I wanted to be a construction worker, but I shouldn't have to do as many sit-ups or as many push-ups. I shouldn't have to spend money on alcohol to keep the business running. I should just be able to go into the club every time I want and just experience life for free. I should be able to do what I feel like, and I shouldn't have to worry about that. No, men, I don't need a man for anything, but it would be nice if those men kept those clubs open even if they're losing money because I want to have fun. Like, women are quite literally mentally deranged. Women are basically children and men are basically parents. You know when your kid wants to play in the kitchen with you and they want to grab the knife and cut stuff up too, but that's too dangerous. So you go ahead and get some plate for them to f around with so they don't hurt themselves, but they can still be a part of the group. Yeah, that's what men do for you and pretty much everything. Like, oh, well, you can't really actually do it, but here you go. We'll sacrifice so you're able to feel like you can do it. Unfortunately, in this society, playing pretend isn't good enough anymore. So now women feel as though, no, I should be able to hold the kitchen knife. But the only problem is, if a man gives up that kitchen knife and she hurts herself, she's blaming you for giving her the kitchen knife. If you're a dyke and you're going into the male setting, then that means if there's a club, you got to be the one buying drinks, baby girl. Yeah, it's a lot harder to have fun when you don't have a man providing your ability to have fun, huh? It's a lot harder being in a man's world when you have to actually do what men are expected to do.
Well, you know, women a lot of times get in this mode of thinking, well, I work hard and I do all these things, but I don't want to spend my money. I want them to pay for it. I can cover my rent. And sometimes I don't, if the man is available, I don't want to even do that. I want the man to buy my hair, pay for my hair, my nails. I don't want to have to be doing all that stuff, right? I should work for my money because it's mine. So when I come to this club, I got dressed. I did the bare minimum, or I did enough. Get my hair done, my makeup done, my nails done, looking right, smelling good. I even did an everything shower just in case I meet that special man. So now I'm expecting him to come in here and pay for at least a bottle, at least for me and my friends. He might not score, but the opportunity is like a raffle, right? You buy a bottle, you buy a bottle, you buy a drink, you buy a drink, you buy some food, you buy some food. Send it all to me, and the lucky guy at the end of the night will win. They think that's fun for men. They think it'd be one thing if it were like $20 or something like that, and it wasn't so expensive. But they think men want to come and do like a silent auction for their time. I think there was a woman laughing and kikiing about eating, knowing that she's not going to give a man or be intimate with the man. Oh, how I feel or how I look after knowing I'm going to be eating and not paying the bill, and he's going to pay the bill, but I'm not going to give him anything. That's the way they think. So that's why they sitting there looking sad. That's why this club shut down, because they're expecting for men to come in and buy a raffle ticket, and men said no. We're going to step back on this one.
Women literally work at these jobs like McDonald's and crazy stuff, save money to get a BBL so they can go be around the crews of people and go try to find a man and be like, cool, like this is a thing. Like, and that's why it's this whole epidemic where women are like, I done got the BBL and I'm still working at McDonald's. Like I still got the job. I'm still stressed out. Like I still don't got nothing cracking.
So this goes back to like when we always have this conversation, like who's the prize? If women are doing all of that,
yeah, they are.
Then men have to be the
But
prize.
men are doing a lot too.
What?
You will
Not
say it all
half
the time.
the things
No.
that women do.
Let me
Not
tell
even
you,
half
I'll
the
be honest with you. Today I was just thinking about this because I did like all this stuff. Like I have my legs waxed, my everything, like my eyebrows, this, my hair. And it hurts. Like
That's
you don't
what
know
I'm
how
saying.
painful it is to get your legs and your body waxed. Like I'm in there like, I'm in so much pain, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, we do all of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much. But you do, like, especially if you have a man, you're like, I have to make sure I'm fresh. I have this, I have that. Like, you want to do that for the person you're with. Yeah. Like, I don't know that if that means they're the prize, but I do think that, I believe that men and women are both the prize. I think both people bring and add so much value that they can make each other better if it's the right situation, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, as women, we do a lot. We do.
A lot.
We do a lot. And it blows me because you do have to, low key, if you're like with somebody, like a man is going to be like, girl, like get this together. Like you look a mess. Like really in reality.
You look a mess.
Like
all women say they want a good man until they actually meet one and realize they're not equipped to handle him. A good man is not convenient.
Mhm.
He doesn't bend to accommodate chaos. He doesn't rearrange his values because you're emotional.
Right.
A real good man has discipline, boundaries, and priorities that don't shift based on your mood. And this is where women get confused. When you've never met emotional maturity, you misread everything. You call him cold because he won't tolerate drama. You call him selfish because he protects his peace. You label him detached because he refuses to beg for your approval. But that's not coldness. That is self-respect. A man who knows his worth doesn't move from insecurity. He moves from conviction. Good men don't chase drama.
Yeah.
They don't chase chaos.
Yeah.
And they sure as hell don't chase women who weaponize emotion. They build, they lead, they create order. Most women aren't ready for the responsibility that comes with a stable man because stability doesn't feed your need for emotional roller coasters. It doesn't scratch that itch for unpredictable validation. For women raised in dysfunction, peace feels boring until you lose it. A good man requires partnership, respect, and a woman who's emotionally regulated, not reactive, not reckless. Stay solid. Good men don't bend, they build. And the right woman rises to meet him.
Yo, if you ever get to a point in your life that you start looking like a Batman villain, I think it's time to change something. You're gonna be walking down the street and all of a sudden you're gonna hear, Penguin, where is she? Tell me where she is. You're not Penguin. Have you ever thought about, I don't know, maybe doing some justice on a treadmill or something? Maybe pick up some weights? You know, Planet Fitness is only $10 a month.
Maybe you just think that women should be equally represented in the decision-making fora of our nation.
I don't understand your question, I guess.
I guess you don't. That's pretty obvious, unfortunately.
Well, how about if you phrase it more clearly instead of just insulting me? Look at it this way. Let's talk about quotas for a minute. There's a very wide array of jobs that are fundamentally done by men. 99.9% of bricklayers are men. Should we have quotas for women?
Is bricklaying representative democracy?
That has nothing to do with the question. The question is if there's evidence of structural inequality and oppression because women aren't precisely represented at 50% in all professions at all levels, then why don't we have a conversation about having women represented in all professions at all levels? Why do we talk about politics and positions of power? Why don't we talk about it across the board?
Now, why would we do a thing like that? Talk about the hard jobs. Talk about the jobs that actually hold up the United States, hold up society. Why in the world would we do that? The jobs that nobody really wants to do. Why would they want to be equal in that? They want to be equal in this stuff where they can get out in front and people can see their face. They want to be equal in the stuff where they can command and they can control. They do it in the marriage. They like to walk out at 70 to 90%, regardless of if there's an actual issue or not. So why in the world would they want to be in a position to not have any power, to be looked at as lowly in society? Why would they want to do that? I don't want that equality.
One of the biggest red flags in a man is when he doesn't think that WNBA players deserve to make more money. They're not profitable.
I don't hear the men whining about OnlyFans models getting paid more than them. I don't hear the men whining about models getting paid more than them. Kendall Jenner is the highest paid supermodel. Where are the male supermodels? But whenever men dominate in an industry, women will just complain.
Feminism is killing this country.
Can you be more specific?
Feminism has taught us to hate men and to fear men because capital profits off of my fear as a woman. If I'm afraid of men, they can make a profit off of that. There's a gender war because men are the underdogs right now. Men are the ones being told you're feared, you're wrong, everything you do is wrong, go make money, don't show emotion, be. Women are making a rise to the top. We've over-feminized so much and included women so much, which is great, but we don't have to tear men down to include women.
So why is there so much talk about male privilege?
Because for a long time there was male privilege, and now the script is flipped. Now women are the ones with privilege, but no one's ready to hear that.
Well, this might not end well for me, and I might get cussed out in my comments, but I don't care. Having a BBL and big tits or being voluptuous is not a character trait. It is not a character trait. You looking good, you being a pretty girl, you being a successful woman, it is not a character trait. Your physical appearance does not determine your character. I wish you guys would stop confusing how you look with how you are supposed to behave. I don't know what it is, but it's like, because a lot of women, you feel like you look good, you can just be nasty and be mean. Let me tell you something, a BBL does not guarantee you won't get boxing in your face. Watch it.
Foot fetish lover, little ass sucking on my toes. You a weirdo. I should have kicked you dead off in the middle of your forehead, nigga, and broke your nose, Tylil. You got me up. Toe licker. Ass eater ass. Let's talk about it. Little...
Today's episode of Clout Chasing Gone Wrong. Jordan, or whatever your name is, young lady, you are dead ass wrong. You know damn well that boy did not take nothing. There's no way in hell that you got essayed and then requested $2,000 when a nigga stopped playing with you. Baby, you're at best. The fact that this man called you a Uber, publicly saying of the things that y'all did while y'all were in that intimate setting is ludicrous, baby. You better count your days, because I'm hearing that Tylil is coming for your ass. Not literally. Can we start making it a thing that people go to the police and not the internet when bad things happen to them or wrongdoing? Because when y'all go to these damn social media sites instead of going to law enforcement, it automatically puts a dark cloud over your case. It's women like this that mess it up for real victims.
I don't like you black niggas. I really don't.
It's women like this that take valuable hours out of law enforcement and people's time doing some... Never in the history of niggerdom has a woman talked about a man's package while she's getting essayed. That man gave you some dick and sent you away in an Uber share, and now you feel some type of way because he didn't want to pay for it. It does not mean that he took anything from you. Now, I have all the empathy and sympathy for all real essay victims because these things really do happen. But this ain't a case of that. And we need to check this. We need to have the same energy for this woman lying that we would have for that man if he had really done it. We need to have the same energy. She needs to get the same charges. She needs to be locked up in the same jail that man would be locked up in had he actually done these things. Ma'am, you played yourself. You're immature as hell and obviously not very intelligent. Gentlemen, you gotta be careful. Once you get to a point in a position in your life, people are gonna come to you for various things because these out here will say anything for some clicks and a goddamn like. Healing energy to Tylil. Bruh came back with receipts. The facts are the facts. Had this been a real essay case, I would have been totally against it. But it's very obvious that this man has come with receipts and this woman is lying on his name. Tell her what she's won, folks. A lifetime subscription to OnlyFans. That ugly money.
I'm done beating. I should have beat his ass that night. And that nigga would have came on stream with 2 black eyes, which I should have did.
So apparently, and I haven't read everything going on between these two, but I guess now she's trying to expose him, and he actually had receipts this time. I guess she tried to pull a fast one and say, oh, he did this to me, he did that to me, he tried to essay me, and the man actually had receipts, and he released them. Unfortunately, I think I heard somebody say that he had a video, Ash Lane, Life in the Ash Lane. I think I listened to her video where she said he actually had proof of what they did during spicy time, and he released it. And so now you going all over the internet trying to call him this and trying to call him that after it appears that you wasn't telling the truth. Why would you do that? Why?
Are you using condoms?
No, we never use a condom.
Never use condoms?
Never.
Okay. Did they ask about testing or anything else like that?
The only time she asked about testing, I think it was like on her birthday. And
this is a one nasty ass Negro. Yes, he is. And that ain't a victim. She just as nasty as this boy. She may be a punching bag, and that's not cool. But that is into some trifling ass though. Y'all still out here talking. There's a few of y'all still talking about Cassie's a victim. Victim my ass. She's a toilet seat on purpose, nigga. The being beat up, that's not her. She's a victim of that. But everything else, that's free of will. Take that as you will. You're welcome. It's Knuckles HVM Network.
And I think this was in reference to the stuff that happened with P. Diddy, if I'm not mistaken from the caption that I read. There's a lot of stuff that P. Diddy shouldn't have done. And he's going to have to take some charges for that, obviously. But I think, especially when I was watching the documentary, they were like, how did P. Diddy get off? How did he get so little time? Well, you had, I think, at least a couple of jurors on there saying, we just didn't understand Cassie's behavior. We didn't understand why she kept on going back and getting into these situations. After we saw what P. Diddy did, she got out of the situation and then went back into the situation to be with P. Diddy. And that doesn't make sense to us. So we can't say in good faith that she was a victim in everything and charge P. Diddy for everything if she was a willing participant. That kind of makes sense to me.
So the guys are mad because the ladies are choosing to be musty instead of live with them. The guys are mad because the ladies are choosing to go days without washing their butts instead of living with them.
Worst things we could do as men is to be with women who don't want us. I've been in that position too. I have simped. I have done stuff. I've been in the friend zone. I've done all that kind of stuff. And I will tell you, gentlemen, don't do it. Never do that. It's never a good idea. I said it 2 weeks old. Stop trying to win women over. And see, that's the beautiful thing about becoming a high value man. You don't have to win women over. You deal with the women who show interest in you and want to get on your program and are proving their worth to you. You had to work to become a high value man. You don't have to work for a woman. A woman has to work for you.
A man really just got on this app and said we don't call women losers enough. And I couldn't agree more. So I made a list. Coming in at number 1, we have women who make man-hating content. Just because you can't find a man that you want that wants you back and all the ones you date are bums does not make all men losers. You're the loser because you can't get what you want. Right behind that at number 2, we have women who make de-center men content. They are literally the center of your content. If they didn't exist, neither would your platform. And lastly, for the girlies that actually post, are the ones that make first date content. It's in the same vein. It's all really ridiculous, and you're never going to find a man that is going to take you seriously because all of them are going to see your social media and run, as they should. Number 4, we have women who have no hobbies outside of social media. The girls that come home from work and they scroll on their phones, eat some dinner, scroll on their phones some more, and go to bed. Loser. Number 5, we have women who genuinely try to imitate or idolize female rappers. You are not a Barb, you're 30. Number 6, women who make jokes about men's mental health. I'm sorry you don't have any men in your life that you genuinely care about or that care about you. That's sad. Seek therapy, not projecting to other people on the internet. We are not in this. You have trauma. Deal with that. Number 7, we have women with 2 or more baby daddies. I will not be elaborating on that. I think it speaks for itself. Last but not least, we have women that would choose the bear. Did y'all not see that girl get her butt whooped by that deer? That's what y'all would look like, but 10 times worse, and I feel sorry for you. Final disclaimer, I am an equal opportunist, so I can make the same list for men, but this one's...
I slapped the out of you? That's disrespectful as...
There comes a time where you gotta really simplify for them to understand what you're really trying to say. Your discretion is advised.
But it'd be wrong if I slapped the shit out you,
But
right?
this is where double standards come into play. That's like...
If a lion farted in your path, would you slap the shit out of a lion? No, because you know the lion's stronger than you. Don't hit me. If I'm so much stronger than you, if I'm a man, then don't hit me because your feelings is hurt.
Now, the topic at hand is men and women putting their hands on each other. To start this off, I don't think anyone should be putting their hands on anyone. But in this situation, the young lady is trying to justify a woman hitting a man. She is saying it is a double standard because a woman hitting a man is not the same as a man hitting a woman. And the reason it's different is because men are naturally stronger. And her co-host is saying, well, if we are stronger, why would you ever hit a man? Because, you know, if he ever decides to hit you back, it's over with. Now, I've been on record saying that men aren't as dangerous as women say we are. And the reason for that is because women will actually hit a man. If a man is as dangerous as you say he is, you wouldn't dare. And I think the reason a young woman would do something like that in that moment is because she understands that, number 1, there's a consequence to him doing that. Number 2, a lot of them don't actually think that man will hit them back. Number 3, we were taught at a very young age to never hit a woman back, even if she hits us. And number 4, last but not least, that a man has a very high level of compassion and self-control in a lot of those domestic situations, contrary to popular belief. Now, the young man uses a wonderful example. He says, if a lion farted in your face, would you hit the lion? Knowing what the lion is actually capable of. I don't know anyone personally that would hit that lion because we are fully aware of how much danger that lion can impose on us. And so in turn, there's a certain level of respect that you have for that lion because you know what that lion is capable of. Which also says if a woman ever puts her hands on you, she don't respect you at all. I say all that to say, as a woman, it is never a good idea to put your hands on a man. If you're not doing that out of self-defense, actual self-defense, not why I feel some kind of way so I gotta hit him. I'm talking about, oh, he's trying to hit me or he's trying to hurt me of some sort. Putting your hands on a man is a possible death wish. There are some men out there that don't hold back when it's time to fight. The moral to the story is, ladies, don't put your hands on men, and men, don't put your hands on the ladies. Domestic altercations between both genders have never been proven to solve anything. And for my fellas in particular, if you ever feel like you're even about to get to the point of doing that, you better leave immediately. And I'm not saying for the night. Leave the relationship entirely. Y'all keep the change.
Women got this thing where they say that men are jealous of them. Men are not jealous of y'all. Jealousy is not a male trait. That don't mean it's not a man in the world that can possess jealousy, because some men have feminine traits. But jealousy is not a male trait. Now, you want to talk about envy? I'll talk about envy. And I'll talk about it in a way that y'all can relate, right? I'll tell you this. A man would never be jealous of a woman because a man don't compare himself to a woman. I've never seen a woman do something and was like, I want to be better than her at that. And I'm pretty sure any man watching this will say the same thing. A man's like, oh, she's shooting the shit out of that 3-pointer. I'm about to go outshoot her. We look at it as cute, not as competition. So we can respect it. But y'all yearn and desire for our respect makes y'all compete with us because y'all want us to respect y'all the way we respect men. And it don't look like that. So yes, we look at the things y'all could do and we can value it, we can cherish it. But it's never looked at in a way where it's like I'm threatened by it to the point where I'm jealous. Now, the part about it is that's corporate energy, but it's being taken into the household. And now y'all think that y'all man don't want y'all to succeed because he might be advising against certain decisions you're trying to make. No, understand this. A man understand that your success equals separation among y'all. And you're probably sitting there thinking like, why I gotta be that? No, it's that because your reason behind it typically is because you want to do more things independent of your relationship. You don't want to work to go 50-50 and pay the bills. You feel like you shouldn't have to do that because that makes it a roommate. You want to work to do more things independently. He's not jealous of that. He envies it, but not in a way because he envies you or your success. He envies what it does to y'all. Because he loves you, he don't want to see it break y'all apart. So he envies that he has to fake support it and act like he okay with it because he wants you to be happy, but the other part of him is resenting it because he see that it's taking you farther away from him. Is this in every situation? No. But is this the vast majority? Is the exception versus the rule? This is the rule. In more cases than not, the more you climb up the ladder, the more you're going to project onto him that he needs to climb up the ladder, the more you're going to try to push that and project on a relationship, or the more you operate independent outside of it, which makes a man have disdain towards it. I'll give you an example. The same way y'all get jealous of a PlayStation or an Xbox, not because it's a just inanimate object can take your man, but because it takes his attention and it makes him happy and it makes him excited and it takes time away from you. So do you ultimately hate the game? No, not really. You hate how much time he spend on the game and the less time he spend with you. That's how men feel about y'all going off to do these jobs and these careers. They don't hate the job or the career. They hate that it makes you a different version of yourself that takes you away from who he needs you to be inside the house. And because you look at it from a woman's perspective of this must be jealousy, right? This has to be jealousy, because if I'm a woman, I'm jealous. I'm jealous that you don't know. A man don't operate in jealousy, but it's envy. And it's not envy like he don't want you to be the best. He do want you to be the best, but he wants y'all to be the best. And as a man, when we go out to get more, we get more so we can have our family do less. I want more money so my family can do less. I don't want more money to do more for myself. And it's because we get caught selfish buying ourselves a new pair of sneakers or treating ourselves to.
I do think that men can be jealous, but I think what he's saying in the way is, well, men are not really jealous of what you guys have. Well, y'all intimidated by me. Y'all jealous of what I have. No, I mean, I could go out and get that. You might run across a broke man or a broke guy that envies you, like you're saying, or he's jealous of what you have. But it's not going to be a real man that's going to be worried about what you got. He's actually going to be happy for you. That's why most men don't care about your job or your career. I think Ugly Money, I can't remember his name, but he's in one of my compilations. The one time I need him to tag himself in his videos, he don't put his tag on here. The one time, but this is the guy I'm talking about, right? So he was basically saying men don't really care about, what you got going on and in that way, in terms of what you make, because they don't really have access to it anyway. You're not going to give them access to it anyway. I see it as, oh, my girl's doing it. I'm doing it. We doing it together. Man, we thriving. So it's not really a thing of jealousy. Like he said, now there are some men out there that are broke. They're bums that they care about that type of stuff. But you don't want that type of man, right? You're in competition with your man when you should be, and I wouldn't even say supporting, you should be just kind of do your own thing. But that doesn't mean be independent. That means, you find your lane. A lot of women complain about not knowing what to do because they put so much into the children, or they might put so much into this in the household. You can do all of that. But like I said, find your own lane. Well, this is what I like to do. When I get some time, this is what I do. And I actually carve out some time, right? You learn from each other how to be more successful. Say, for instance, couples who have children, right? A lot of times the mother, just by her nature, will hover over the child. She'll always be with the child. She'll hold the child, and she'll be tired of holding the child, right? You got to put that baby down. You can hold it, love on it, put the baby down and go use the restroom. Put the baby down, go take a shower. Put the baby down, go outside the house, go for a walk, go shopping, go meet with your friends. Give that baby to mom or dad, and go do something else. They get so wrapped up in taking care of the baby, they forget who they are, who they want to be, what they want to do. And years down the road, and they keep on doing this, they burn out because I'm taking care of everybody else except myself. So you need to stop worrying about everybody else all the time. That doesn't mean that, okay, I'm the number one priority. No, that just means, okay, let me get them squared away first, reasonably, and let me go take care of myself. A lot of women will not do that when they're mothers. They'll squared away to them means they're in perfect health, perfect condition. Everything is right. The sun is shining. And they'll do this for umpteen days and can't get away. And they lose themselves taking care of the babies. And then they blame it on the men for not helping. When the men then told them, I got the baby, you go do what you need to do. Well, you ain't gonna take care of it like I want. I'm not, because I'm me and you're you. But the baby is gonna be alive, the baby's gonna be fed, the baby's gonna be changed. Might even be asleep by the time you get back. Go do your thing. Don't make this a competition. Even now you're trying to make it a competition of who's the best parent. Go do your thing and come on back revived, revitalized, restored, renewed. It's not a competition.